Out and good to see Jonathan Allard. Yeah, they're all quite convinced now that they've got the wheels on round the right way that they'll go pretty good too.
Mate, you're going to pay for that, eh?
Okay, I've got the grids here. I'll just quickly run through those grids if I can. Heat 4 of the sprint cars. Grid number 1, 11 USA, come Australia, Peter Murphy. On grid 3, 22, Dean Brindle. On grid 5, 37A, Rob Corskadam. On grid 7, 18, Greg Pickerel. And on grid 9, the birthday boy, Jeremy Halpin in 96. Scratch car 21, Mark Brown. Across the side of the page, 86 from Cromwell, Jason Scott on grid 2. 47, Aussie Sokol on grid 4. 66 from Bay Park, Skinny Colson on grid 6. 1NZ, Rodney Wood on grid 8. 0 USA, Jonathan Allard on grid 10, and 4A Glenn Torpey on grid number 12. It is over 10 laps, brought to you by Port Hire and Hydrolink. Great to have them involved here at Western Springs Speedway for this one. This would have to be undoubtedly one of the biggest seasons we've had in many a year, with the talent that has come down under this time round.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the best international lineups we've seen for many, many years. So here's the equation for the sprint cars at the moment, with Rodney Wood, Ryan O'Connor, Glenn Torpey and Greg Pickerel to complete their second heats, certainly in the points mix. Allard with a DNF in his first heat with a broken diff. He has got the Port Hire Hydrolink 0 USA back out there. 1 USA Sammy Swindle on 5 points, 10 USA Ricky Logan on 5 points. Then you'd go to the likes of Jamie McDonald on 9, and there's still a lot of these guys with a heat left to go. Pete Murphy off the inside of the front row in the Daltons 11.
Wood!
He's gone straight to the top. Where'd he start from?
He started from grid 8.
Grid 8, and he's already up into the 6th position, went straight to the top off the start. Watch Allard from the back. You know he's going to run the top, and I can see how little stagger he's running on that race car to run it as tight as he can, and he'll just pick them up off that high line if he can get the momentum.
Scott!
Jason Scott's gone around in the 86. Dean Brindle gets him with the right rear. Scott recovers. Carnage in behind him. It's flat in the right rear tyre. The two Edge teammates got together. Scott bought it out initially, went around, tried to recover, just got clipped by Dean Brindle.
Damage to the Brindle car.
Yeah, right rear. Glenn Torpey, who
look at that.
had a third place finish in his first heat, no restarts in the heats.
No, that would have bent something, surely.
Yeah, it's either an axle or just a rim. I'd say that's probably more an axle. It was a pretty solid clip.
Yeah, nowhere to go, the two teammates. And
it's going to flatten the right rear anyway.
Absolutely. Allard is pointing to Brindle, letting him know that he's got a right rear that's going a bit spirally. But Jason Scott was out in front driving. Got it a bit wrong, and Peter Murphy has a smile as wide as Christmas Day because he takes the lead in the Dalton car.
Yeah, so does Rodney Wood, though. Look where he is on track, 4th, and with his first heat win, he would be tied with Sammy Swindell on points.
Yeah, so it's going to be Barry. Interesting time. Sprint cars controversial like the midgets.
Yeah, it was certainly a big start by Rodney Wood, wasn't it? I think he went from grid 8 as high as 4th, but just drifted a little bit wide in that first turn, dropped back a couple of spots, but with drama that's happened in front of him, one more position now, and that's going to see him looking good for the feature.
Well, Brindle drops out as well, which is good. So Brindle and Scott both dropped out, which means that he's up to 4th position, and you'd have to be odds on favourite based on his form, Barry, of the last recent time here. He may be able to do it.
Well, I don't know whether I'll put him odds on favourite with Sammy Swindell starting anywhere near the front as well. But, certainly that run that he had here at the last meeting. And you have to think, even though he did put that down to driver error when he went up the wall, you have to think something else happened the way it just drifted offline like that. But, I think we're going to see an awesome feature. And obviously, Allard's going to be starting somewhere near the back. Ricky Logan up the front too. We're going to be watching both ends.
Here we go.
They're backing up on each other. Rodney Wood got run into the back of by Jeremy Halpin. Allard picks up a spot on Greg Pickerel through to the 6th position. Goes the Hydrolink Port Hire 0 USA Maxim. So Peter Murphy with clear air out in front. The Daltons number 11 Maxim. Go back to Aussie Sokol. Skinny Colson, Rodney Wood. Rodney Wood, I would suggest, has probably set a faster lap in the first heat. It was the first sprint car heat of the night with his heat victory. So I would suggest he be in the box seat right now with that tiebreaker with Sammy Swindell tied on points. I don't know that he knows that's sitting in the cockpit running in the 4th position. Knowing Rodney, he'll just be driving it as hard as he can. He's got that wing cranked way forward like Sammy Swindell as well, creating a lot more downforce, trying to get drive over those rear wheels to get that 850 plus horsepower down on the race surface here at Western Springs Speedway. Fastest lap of the race, 13.859, set by Peter Murphy. 5 laps complete, 5 to go, the halfway point of the 4th and final heat for the sprint cars. Aussie Sokol returning to Western Springs. Skinny Colson, Rodney Wood, Halpin, Allard. And with the thrash to get that rear end in that race car, I don't think they've maybe got the ideal setup on that car. So Allard's going to be having to start quite deep in the field anyway. The top 6 in points will have a marble draw going into the feature, so we could see a bit of a mix-up in the grids, which could be pretty important with the track going away. But who's got the better setup for the sprint car feature later on in the night? 8 laps complete for Peter Murphy, 2 to go. The Americans will certainly be used to these slick conditions. Just rolling that pole line. He's got the brakes riding just to keep the car down on the track. White flag for Peter Murphy.
1 lap to go. Peter Murphy out in front. Aussie Sokol in second. He bounces off the pit wall here. And the car 11 Dalton entry car of Peter Murphy. He'll take his first victory at Western Springs Speedway. So Peter Murphy takes the win in car 11 USA. Aussie Sokol 47, 66 third. 1 New Zealand fourth. Oh! Allard in the fence. No, it wasn't Allard. No, it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was Halpin. Yeah, they look pretty similar from front on.
Halpin kissed the concrete after the checkered flag in the middle of Pine Tree Bend. But take nothing away. Peter Murphy, Aussie Sokol, Skinny Colson, Rodney Wood, Jeremy Halpin, and the Fletcher Easy Steel time 4:35.8.